So I mean, let me know who else does not have it. Can you please register yourself and then get an instance for yourself? Okay, people are still joining. Let's wait for a few more minutes. Okay, so whoever has joined little late. So I was asking who has created their account on your Appian community and who has not. So if anybody has not created their account on Appian community, can you please log into the first link given into the chat and register yourself? Am I audible, guys?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so guys, I have given some links onto the Appian community. Please register yourself and then get your account instance for Appian development. Okay. Okay. So anybody has thought of any use case that we can start the developments for that?
Sir, I didn't get any links actually. Can you please bring it one more time?
Give me 1 second. I just did in the chat box. You get it? So first
Yeah,
one is if you're registering yourself, either you can register with your own email address, or if you want, you can register with your company's email address. All right. So for certification and all, I'll suggest you will go with your company's email address. But for learning purpose, if you want, you can go with your own email address. That's fine.
What is the second ID? Second link?
The second one is for the Appian instance. If once you will register, then you need to go to this link and then you get your own edition where you can start development, your practice.
Okay. So
Okay,
actually,
yeah.
this is my first session actually. So did I miss anything important?
No, yesterday we talked about the Appian, what Appian is, and what is the market positioning and all. So it's just about the demo thing and how this Appian interface looks like. If you can ask to the yesterday's video, they will give it to you, and then that's what I mean. Nothing you have missed anything as an important as development. Yeah, it's just a discussion about the Appian.
Fine.
Okay. Anyone else has any issues? Let me share my screen so I can show you guys that how you can do that. Let me know if you can see the screen. So this is the Appian community where you have to go and register yourself. Once you will register yourself, then you need to go to this particular link, and then there will be option called request your environment. You need to click this one. Once you will click this one, you will get your own environment to work, just like the way I have it work. It will be something like some regular text and an Appian.community. So it will take time, like 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes to get activated. So everybody can please do that, and then we will start for our discussion further. So yeah, before that, anybody has any questions? No questions? All right. So did anyone think about any solutions that we might be working on? I mean, start the development for that particular use case. Come on, guys, speak. I mean, if you have anything in your mind. We talked about, right? I said about what kind of solutions we can.
Yeah. This is Appian here.
I can think about the idea like the request management system. It's similar to ServiceNow, right? So there will be a screen where either employees or somebody who got an issue with the hardware or software, right? They can open a ticket, right?
Okay.
And will be routed to whatever the group managing that particular request types, right?
Okay. Yep.
And also we can create a reporting out of that, right? How many tickets are open, right?
Great.
And also process flow, like where the request is getting routed, right? If there is a calculation we can do, right, within the system, right? Like a business rules or process rules.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So if everybody has created their account on your Appian community, get your instance, and then we'll start with the incident management system and application, which will start development, and then we'll see how we can progress part by part. We'll see when to use what object and all. We'll start according to that. All right. Perfect. Thanks, Arjun. That was a good idea.
One question I have is, right,
Yeah.
so I created, the Appian account like a long time back. Is there any time frame, that account is going to expire, like, for non-usage? Or
Yes. It's like if you don't work on around 5 days, continuous 5 days, then it will get deactivated. Okay, and then maybe after a month and all, if you don't work, it will get removed. So you need to get your new instance.
New instance, okay.
Yeah.
Harsha, I have one question. This system will accept, this community will accept only specific accounts, specific email addresses?
No. You can use your own email address, or if you want, you can use your company's email address.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm just trying one email ID, but it is saying unable to register your account. Your email address is not permitted for registration. Okay, let me try a different email address.
Because you see, I have registered with my Gmail, and then I'm working on that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let me try with my Gmail.
Sure. And most important, like if you go for your certifications, please use your company's email address.
Okay.
And yeah, Kiran, anything you want to discuss?
Yeah, we are good. I think let me try with a different ID.
Okay. Thanks. Okay.
So
Guys,
Ravi,
then, yeah.
you did. I joined at 8 o'clock. So did we create? I mean, because most of us we don't know, right? From which side we have to go and create. Are you sharing your screen?
I just pinged a couple of links on chat box. I pinged it again. You just have a look. So there are two links I've given. The first link is for the Appian community registration, and the second link is for your own edition.
Okay, so which one should we register?
The first one is for Appian community, so go ahead and register yourself, and then second one is for your Appian instance. Once you register, then you will get your own environment.
So are we going right from the registration from the scratch kind of thing? Because sometimes we might face issue, right? You might be having it already.
So that's what I'm saying. If you while registering, if you are facing an issue, just let me know, share your screen and show us. Then we can, just like right now, Raji has mentioned, right? He was not able to get his with some of the email address. So I just asked him to use his Gmail, and then he's trying out.
Okay, we'll try. We'll let you know.
So there are two options, right? So one is to learn and other one is to explore. Which option is better? To learn or?
I mean, yeah, you can select anyone. That's fine. Learn. Yeah.
Oh, this is more for learning, I guess. So.
Hello, Ravi.
Yeah.
Yes, I have already registered with Appian. Is it okay? I have to register one more time.
No. If you have already registered, then that's fine, right? You just go and click on the second link and then get your own instance.
Okay.
So if it is already registered, so we can reinstate the instance again.
Now,
Maybe?
already registered on Appian community or the account instance. That's what.
Yeah, Appian community for reading I have registered sometime back.
Yeah.
I
So
never
that's fine.
installed community
Yeah.
edition.
So just try to click on the second link and see if you are getting that option or not. Request your own environment.
Okay. Sorry, I'm calling you as Ravi. I don't know your name.
Yeah, my
Actually.
name is Ravi. I mentioned
Okay.
yesterday. My name is Ravi.
Yeah, because we kept calling you Ravi yesterday. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I'm again sharing. Like, this is the second URL where you can request for your edition. So I have already registered, so I am getting my community edition site. This is the link. So how many of you already have your account? I mean, Appian instance with you? I guess Alex, you have it, right? Alex, if you're speaking on mute, I guess.
Yes, I have it. Yeah, I've already
Okay.
created it. It was disconnected, but I activated it earlier. And yeah, seems to be
That's
working.
great. Yeah. How about you, Ajay? Do you have your account created on Appian community and you have your instance?
No, this is my first session.
Oh, this is your first session. Okay. So
Yeah.
see, how many of you have that today's your as a first session? Ajay,
Me also.
Raji, Ajay. Okay. Okay, guys. So see, yesterday we don't talk about the Appian development. We talk about the what Appian is, and then how what's the market positioning of the Appian. There were some questions on the like, is there any job opportunity and all, like, those kind of things. What can be prerequisites to start the Appian development and all, right? So we talk about all those things. So if you want to know and go through that session, you can ask for the last day's recording session, and you're good to go. So today we are going to start our Appian development, and then I was asking the people to register yourself on the Appian community. So that is what I have given on the chat, the links. So let me know if you are able to access those links or not, so you can get your own instance. So any questions, Ajay, or you are good to go?
No, nothing.
Okay, so have you registered yourself on your Appian community?
No, I will do it to itself.
Ravi, while registering, is it okay to give the actual phone number?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you need to give your actual phone number because it that's fine. I mean, that's not an issue.
Okay.
And you might be, I mean, you have to set up your one-time authentication as well. So you need to give your actual phone number so you can get a code to log in.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, Ravi, is there any way we can avoid that? Like, it's little annoying, right? So every 15 minutes.
No, it's now they have registered. So I mean, they have asked to put some one-time authentication. So you need to, get that.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, Ajay is trying. Raj, what's your status? If you're talking on mute. Okay. Arjun, are you done?
Yeah, my machine is restarting. I think I might have created an instance before, right?
Okay.
So I restarted the site. So it's taking a while
Right.
to restart the machine.
Yeah, it takes sometimes. Yeah. Okay. Bhavani?
Yeah, so I created.
You created
So
already.
I'm trying, Ravi.
Okay.
First link I already have because I used to read. Second one I'm trying.
So
All right.
one question: if you forget the password, whether we can use that forget password thing or
You will
something?
reset with using your email address, right? You can do that. I mean, your email address will be your login ID, so yeah, definitely you can do that by using your email address. Okay, Sagar, what's your status?
I have joined today. Today I will create.
So let's go and create. No, we all are doing that one. So why to wait on this?
I don't know. Yeah.
You got the link in the chat box?
Yeah, I got the link.
Yeah, please do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Raji, what's your status?
I registered to community, and I'm just creating my instance, and I think I have to select learn, right?
Yeah.
I want to learn option. Yeah.
Charan? Someone is trying to speak. Not getting it. Sorry, your voice is not coming properly. Anyone can help? I mean, hear them. I guess it's ready. Sorry, ready. I'm not able to hear you. Okay, Sri, what's your status?
Yes, I. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I have done.
Perfect. So you got an instance, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who else? Siva?
Yes, Ravi, it's done actually. Yeah, it's ready.
Perfect. Vinod? Vinod, if you're talking.
Yes, I have done it.
Perfect. Ramon? Ramon, if you're talking on mute. Okay. Malia?
Yeah, I have done, sir.
Perfect. Call me Ravi, please. Pravalika?
Yes, it's done, Ravi.
Perfect. And then Srini? Srini, what's your status? All right. Let me know if you guys have any issues, then we can connect and then we can create on your instance. Okay, so we have decided to work for our use case that is going to be what do you say, that incident management system. All right. Okay, so to start with any application, like any development environment, not only the Appian, any like Java or Appian or Pega or .NET or C, C++, right? What is the first thing you think that should be created? Anyone?
Requirements, right?
Yes, requirements. Correct. So if the requirement starts, like how a business starts, like what is the requirement? Suppose if I say I need to have a system where we need to raise a request for our applications, right? So what you will say? What is the first thing it will come up in your mind? Isn't it data? What data we need to capture and where we need to capture the data, right? Then only we can think about the screens and right, what screens is needed, what kind of workflow we need it, right?
Yeah.
So if we talk about the incident management system, right, you tell me what data is important. Let's divide our data into multiple parts. So let's go with that side. Let's say table 1. So what is going to be your table 1? Come on, guys, speak up.
So it's more like, who is opening the instance, right? The user.
The user. So definitely we will require some user table, or let's say employee table for your organization, right? So who can actually access this? So there should be some record of that particular employee, like their user ID, their name, first name, last name, email address, and all, right? So that's going to be our table, first table. So okay, so we decided that table 1 is done. Now table is going to be like we'll say employee table. All right. Okay, what table 2 is going to be yours?
The request types.
Or so employee will log in and then they'll start the system and then they will put some request details, right? So we will have request details.
Yep.
All right. What else? All right. I mean, this is good to start, right? I mean, yeah.
Maybe request progress. How do we track the request progress, right? So request details.
That will be on the status, right? I mean, that will be in the request details. We can have on a status column that which can tell you that, okay, this is the current status.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, it's good to start with. 2 tables are fine. So let's go with the employee table. Okay, I'll just give you one thing. You see our application we are going to name as an incident management system. So I'll say IMS. This is a prefix of our application. I mean, we are going to, so Appian suggests whatever your application name, don't use the entire big name, right? Otherwise the application name will be very big. And then the object that you will create will be having big names. So Appian also suggests, whatever objects you will create, whatever rules you will create, put on prefix of your application. For example, you say like this employee table may not be only belong to this application, right? There will be other application which can have an employee table. So how do we distinguish between the names, right? This table is mine or which one is mine? So what we do, we put the prefix of our application to distinguish the name of any object, okay, the table or the Appian object that we will be creating. So what I'm going to say, I just going to say IMS underscore employee, let's say employee record. Okay, so this is going to our first table. All right, so you tell me what are the things will be required in this employee table. I mean, what are the columns we needed?
So employee ID, first last name,
Okay, so we'll put employee ID and first last name. Okay, so we'll say first of all ID, that is going to be integer type, and we can mention as a primary key. So we need a primary key, right? All right, and then we have employee ID. We can have this as a varchar, right? And then we'll say first name, that is again going to be varchar. We can say last name, varchar. Okay, if you want, we can have middle name as well. So let's say, okay, what else?
So maybe like a status, employee status.
Yeah, we can put have employee status like activate, inactive, active. Okay, so we'll say employment status. Okay. Yeah.
Department.
DOB.
Department.
Okay. Yeah. We'll say department. So you can do a varchar.
So in order to grant access, right, to different screens, let's say we have like multiple screens in the application. We add like a data type or a column which can use it to grant access to the screens.
So that will be based on the group wise, right? So we do not provide individual access to any objects. Why? Yeah. Because when you deploy your code from the lower to higher environment, that individual user might not be present, right? So in that case, your deployment will break and your application will also break, it won't run. So that's why any security things that you do in your Appian, you do with your group. So we can deploy the group, doesn't matter what users are there or not, that group will hold the security and it will never break. All right.
Okay.
All right. So department is there. Anything, guys? Tell me if anything is come up in your mind. We can have email.
Vendor.
Vendor.
Gender.
Oh, gender. Okay, sorry. Okay. Gender. I'll say date of joining.
Phone number.
Yep. Very important. Yep. We'll say okay. It's good. I mean, it's good to go. I mean, if you need, like, if you know in future, like it's if you need to add some column, we'll also see how to add a column and then get reflected in Appian. But why data model is very important, any development to be decided first, because data model is something that should not be updated very frequently in your current development, and it should not be modified, because once it will get modified, there are lots of things will get impacted on your Appian development, right, or any development. So that's the reason for any, it's a very good practice for the Appian development. I mean, it's a generic development. When I say, you should decide your data model first, and then data model should be very precise. I'm not saying 100% accurate, but up to 100%. So you do not need to modify a lot of things in your future development. Also, in Appian, precisely, if I say adding column is fine. If you as number of column you are adding it, that is fine, but removing column will cause a lot of issues. You might be using your code, suppose your application is very big, and then you have removed one column from your database, that will get impacted your CDT. When I say it's a custom data type, we'll see how it work and how it get created. So and you might be using that particular column, say hundreds of places of your application, then what will happen, you have to go and change everywhere. So make sure whatever data model you decide, you do it very precisely, and then you don't remove any column. If you want to hide such columns from your application, just hide it, comment that particular code, but don't delete that column from your CDT. This is a very basic best practice that you should follow for your good application practice. Okay. All right. Now, once the employee table will create, then we have another table. So I'll say IMS underscore, I'll say request details. All right. So what can be here?
What is the prefix IMS means?
Incident management system that we have decided to work on. Yeah?
Oh, okay. So it's a kind of application specific what we are working
Exactly.
on, is it?
Yeah. Okay, so we'll say IMS request details. So again, we need to have ID that should be integer, and then should be a primary key. All right, and then we can have a request ID. Basically, the ID and request ID we could make it same, but then your request ID we put some varchar. Why? Because it looks good. Like suppose if you put incident number just a 1, it doesn't look good, right? So what we'll do, we'll put REQ underscore 1 or REQ 001. So in that way, the request number looks good to us. So that's why I have created one integer as a primary key, and a request will put a varchar. So we'll add some prefix to it, like REQ00, then it will look good. Okay, so each request may belong to one employee, right? So we can put an employee ID here, that is going to be integer, and then it will be a kind of a foreign key. Make sense? What else?
So date created.
Yep, you can have created
date modified.
Yeah.
Supervisor for approval.
Updated date. I'll say
Close
approver.
date. Request
Okay,
close date.
Close date.
Request status.
I will say status. Good. What else?
Type of request. Is it a software request, hardware request?
Yeah, request type.
Yeah.
Severity. Severity.
Severity.
Priority.
Priority. Okay, yeah.
Request raised by.
Yeah, so we'll say created by.
Created. Assigned to.
Sorry. Yeah. What did you say?
Assigned to.
Assigned to.
Request details. What the request is all about.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we
So
have a column to upload anything like a screenshot
document.
or a document?
Yeah, we can have. So let's say doc ID.
Okay. So you created two tables, right? So, but this columns can be normalized, right, by creating multiple tables to run
Yes.
it, right? So, what
Exactly.
is the best practice, right? Is to just create tables with all the information, or?
No, definitely there is a normalization should be there because that's a database based practice. So yeah, I mean, like suppose we can have a different status column, and then instead of capturing here the status directly, right, we can capture the status IDs, which will be reference of some other table. We can create some reference table for a status. We can create some reference table for the request type and all, right? So yeah, definitely those are the best practice that you can follow for the database side.
Okay.
Normalization is always good, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we must capture lots of details here. Yeah, we need to have something called comments, right? It's going to be varchar. Okay, let's do one thing. If you talk about the normalization, let's create one table for comments, because there can be multiple comments, right? That can be from the developers, that can be from the users, that can be from the operation teams. So I'll say comments. That is going to be again ID that will have an integer and then can have a primary key. Okay, and then we can have employee ID, right? Employee ID can be anyone, because it can be the from the employee table itself. It can be the user, right, who's raising this incident. It can be the operation teams who is working on that incident, and it can be the user itself. I mean the developers who will be fixing this and putting your comments, right? So that's going to be again a foreign key. We can also have the request ID here. That is again going to be treated as a foreign key, right? And then the comments, that's going to be a varchar, and then we can have created by. Yeah.
So what about status?
Yeah, sorry, what did you say?
Status. So let's say
status will be captured here, right? I mean, this status for the request. It's for the comments. We are going to capture the comments. There can be multiple comments, right? So we cannot put like comments, common comments to and all, right? So it's better we normalize the table and move the comments outside, so we can have our table, comments separately. that. So each comments, see, one request may have multiple comments. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Is that all we did in comments? Anything else required? Should be fine. Should be fine. Just give me 1 minute. All right. So yeah, sorry. So we decided on these three, data models. So we will go and we'll start creating these tables in Appian, and we'll see how to create those tables. So we have created like comments for as well. So I'll just mention it here. I'll be sharing all these files with you guys. So don't worry about that. Okay. Anything you want to add more, or let's go and proceed? I mean, if we require anything, we can add later also. So that will be also one thing that we can look for, how to add, update a table, and then reflect into the Appian. All right. So if everyone has ready with your Appian environment, so let's go and start the things. I guess I have already opened it. Yeah. So this is the Appian designer screen where you actually see all your applications created here. So what we do, we first needs to create our application as a, we can say, the box where we will keeping all our objects for related to our application. So how do we do that? So we straight away, you can see the option called new application, and then we are going to put the name as incident management system. You see, Appian is also giving this prefix. We'll say this IMS, right? So this prefix is available, so we can use that one. We can put some good, description. This application is for raising a request on system. Okay, that's fine. And you see, there is checkbox is called generate groups and folder to secure and organize objects. So you know what it does, basically it will create your some basic groups, and then some basic folders that you need to keep all your objects. So if you don't check this checkbox, then you have to create manually. If you're going to check this checkbox, then it will create for you, and I'll show you how. I will also show you that how to create those things. Okay, why we are going to with the checkbox? Because it gives you some good way of understanding how to give the name of your objects that we will be creating. So let's check this checkbox and click on create. Okay, now you see this, it has created two objects already, IMS administrator and IMS users. These two groups it has created, which will be you will be able to see inside the package when we open it. And but this is a basic security on your application, whatever application you are going to create, right? In your lab, you see this here, right? So for every application, we need to provide some security that no other users will be able to see that and work on that one, right? So that's why. So we created two basic users. One is the administrator, which will have the admin access, and the IMS users which will have the viewer access. So we'll talk about the this thing. I'll come on this part. What is the security and what is the meaning of those security? We'll come on that one. Okay. Okay. Now I don't want to create as of now nothing. So we'll start from the beginning. All right. So let's go to the option called build here. Okay, now you see these are the objects. Now let me go back and then come again. So first of all, you will see that your application has been created, incident management system. Okay, now if you select here and if you check the security, you will be able to see that the same thing, IMS administrator and IMS users is created. Now if you want to see the objects, you just click on the name of your application and you will come to the build. There are multiple options like explore, build, this is a deploy, and this is the monitor options, right? So we'll come to that. To create any new object, we will say build. So you go into the build and you see there are around 7 objects we have created. Out of these 7 objects, every object has its prefix called IMS. Okay. Now it also gives what are the objects it has created. We'll see about. So it has created 2 groups. If you mouse over here, it will say what object it is actually. So it creates 2 groups. One is the IMS administrator and IMS users. So this is basically for to securing your application, whom you want to give the admin access and whom you want to give the viewer access, because IMS users has the viewer access. Viewer access means they can see the object, they can read it, but they cannot delete it, they cannot modify it, they cannot delete it. Okay, so these are the things. Second is the third object that it has created is called process model folder. So whatever process model we are going to create in future, those we will capture within this particular folder. We will keep it into this folder. The fourth object, fifth object, and sixth object, and fourth and fifth are the document folders. So it has like whatever objects we will be creating, all the like expression rules, interface rules, constants, and all, right? We will be capturing those. No, I'm very sorry. I mean the documents if you need to create anything, not the rules. Sorry about that. So, like suppose if you want to upload any template, any Excel template or Word document template or any PDF template you want to upload to your system, we will be capturing those into these two folders. So artifacts and then Appian documentation. So these 2 folders are required for those things. And then we have a knowledge center. So any document that we capture, that we keep on your Appian system, that resides into the knowledge center. Now if we go this one and check the dependents, it will say it is dependent on this particular application. So any object will be dependent on this particular application. Now if I open this knowledge center, you will see these 2 folders are there. It means all the folders, all the document folders that we create, that resides into a knowledge center. Okay. And then finally we have the last object that is called rule folder. This is the rule folder where we will be capturing all our expression rules, interface rules, constants. Yeah, I mean those rule things that we will be creating it, we will be capturing into this particular folder. So any questions here, guys? What are the 7 objects that created and what's the meaning of it?
So regarding the artifacts and documentation, right? So is artifacts more like, let's say we need to load something, right, from Excel to the database, if there is a requirement.
I mean, not necessarily that, not necessarily that thing only, but suppose your application requires some logos to be created. If your application requires some banner to be displayed, so all those images where you will keep it, on your process within your application, right? If you want to display some image, right? So those you can keep it into your these 2 folders.
So what about, like, let's say so we got a design documents at the same time, right? Playbooks, runbooks, right? So where those documents go into, like, does it go into application documentation?
Yes, I mean that depends on, you can add number of folders. You can, like suppose if I want to create a new folder, okay, I'll just go and create a new folder. So I create a new folder from here and I'll just give the name as templates and images. Okay, so this is going to be my document folder. It's not going to my rule folder, it's going to my document folder. I'll give the name as IMS templates and images. I'll just say holds the application related templates and images. Okay, I'll just say create. So it says what is the parent folder. The parent folder is going to be knowledge center. So I'll say create. So once I do that, you see one more folder has been created. Now if I go to the knowledge center, I'll be able to see 3. So if you want to create any folders based on your own, requirement, right? You can create that. Now, suppose if you want to upload any documents, then you can create a folder called uploaded for documents, and then you can keep it within the knowledge center, and then you can upload your document to a particular folder, right? So you can define that. So if you go and check, right, each object, each folder will have its own some IDs. Okay, let me show you that. If you go to the more and then say properties, it has ID 5363. All right, and then same way if you go to the artifacts, if you go to more and see the properties, it has ID 5361. So you can decide which folder you need to upload your document in at the runtime as well. Okay, yeah. Any question, guys?
So it looks like it doesn't matter where we store files,
No,
right?
why not? I mean, if you don't know where you are capturing your data or your document, how you will download it in future? Like suppose if you want to download it, right? If you don't know which folder it is, then you will not be able to download it. And also, while uploading to system, it will ask you where you want to upload. So you must know the folder name or the folder constant where you need to upload it.
Okay. So no, my question is like more like, right, sometimes there might be files, which are used in the application, right? There might be some files, which are useful for like a documentation, right? For example, like a design document, right? Does it matter, like, where those files will be located in the folders, like especially in the artifact versus the documentation?
Yeah, I mean, but it's always a good practice to keep it organized, right? So you don't mix up the things. Like suppose in the future, if you want to clear your documents and then you have to select the document wise. Suppose there is a junk folder. I'll just create a junk folder where I'll put all my unnecessary documents which gets generated into the system, which you will not require in future. So if I want to delete those, right, I'll just simply go and clear the folder, right? I'll delete all the documents. I don't have to find which document needs to be deleted. Right? Okay. So this is about the application. How do we create an application, and what are the objects it creates by itself, and then what are things we can capture to it. All right. Now we were on the part like we have decided some data models, so we need to create some tables. I guess I'm echoing my sound. Can we go on mute? Thank you. Okay, you can see my screen, right? Yeah. All right. Now let's go and start creating the tables on your on the Appian. So how do we do that? We can click on here this 9 grids icon and then go to the cloud database, and then we'll say new. So we have decided the table name. What's the table name? IMS employee record. Just keep the table name. Okay, how many columns we read? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add 8 more. Click on go. Okay, now we have 12 columns. So we'll start with the ID. It's going to be integer. It's going to be primary key. I'll just set OK. And it's going to be auto increment. Okay, it cannot be null, so we don't check this checkbox. And then we have employee ID. So let's copy this. It's going to be varchar, and initially it can be null, so I just check this checkbox. We have first name, middle name, last name, so let's do that. Okay, whenever you put varchar, you also need to put some length. So what can be the length? So let's say we are going to have like 10 or 11 characters long maximum, so we are putting this one. First name is again going to be varchar. It may go 50 characters long. So I'll just put, let's say, middle name. Again, it is going to be varchar. Let's say 50 characters. We'll say last name.
So will this Appian work for any type of database like Oracle or SQL
Yeah, yes,
Server?
it works with any database. You can connect if it's not Appian. This is a MariaDB which Appian gives you inbuilt. If you want to use some other database from your own instance, you need to get some connection strings. We'll see how to do that. I can show you the process of doing that. But if you have any third-party database, you can add as well to the system. Okay, and then we have employment status. So let's employment status. It's going to be varchar. Let's say 25 characters long. We have DOB department. Let's say DOB. It's going to be a date. Department. It's going to be varchar. So varchar we can put department like 50 characters long. Email, gender, and date of joining. So I'll say email. It's going to be a varchar. Let's put it like 100 characters long. Date of joining, TOJ. It's going to be a date, gender, and phone number. Okay, we can have gender. It's going to be varchar. Let's say 10 characters long, and then we can have finally phone number. Right? We haven't given it. Yeah, phone number. It's again going to be varchar. We'll say like 10, 12, 13. Let's say 15 for simple side. Okay, 15 characters long. All the values we can put as a null. Right? Initially, it can be null, but this the primary key cannot be null, right? So that's why we are not checking this checkbox. Okay. Any question here, guys?
So I got the question, right? So we are giving the ID for all the tables, right? And also we're making it as like, incremental. Is the idea like, when somebody creates a record, right? When somebody opens a request, will it populate in 3 tables that the same ID?
All these 3 tables, right? Yeah, this ID will be like for this is the one, right? This is the employee ID, and here this employee ID is same, and here also this employee ID is same. Okay, and then this is the request ID.
Yeah.
So this is going to be our request ID here. So these are going to be same. It's a foreign key.
So what is the purpose of ID? The top, you have the ID in each table, right?
So to uniquely identify any particular row, right, you should be having, because it will make your query faster. If you are having the primary key or indexing available to the system, table, right, that will query your data faster. And the foreign key relationship also is very easy to handle it, right? If I want to get the request ID of this particular comment, I can very easily, I can know, okay, this is 5, okay, it means number 5 request it belongs to. So we can make that relation very easily, right? So that's what the purpose of foreign key and primary key.
Yeah, but again, right, these 3 tables should have common request ID, right? For example, I'll give an example, right? So let's start with, somebody creating a request, right? So that means, based on that increment, it might start like 1,000, right? The initial record is 1,001, right? For that particular request, will the same 1,001 will be loaded into the request details table and also the IMS comments?
Yes. Yep. So if you want to later, if you want to know this comment belongs to which request, so how do I do that? So that will belong to this request ID, right?
Yeah, if it is populating all the tables with the same ID, that's fine. If it is not populating,
yeah, definitely it will populate like that only, right?
If then it's going to be a little bit, they're not going to be in sync, right? So.
Yep. Okay. Okay, shall we go ahead and click on save? Now if you want to capture your SQL, the statement, you can click on the preview SQL and it will give you the your SQL statement. So you can keep it for your future purpose if you want to execute on some other environment. Now we can click on save. So our table is ready. We have all those columns created. If I go and search here IMS, hit enter, so IMS employee record is ready. Okay. Now let's go and create our another table. So we'll say new, and the another table is going to be our request details.
So one more question. This is out of
Yep.
the context. So when we are moving this particular table or whatever the objects that we are creating to the higher version, higher environments like a test environment or a production environments, how do you move it? So you are going to using the script, whatever we have seen in the preview.
Yes, those scripts are required. I mean, you can create all those scripts if you want while creating it, but we may not know. It may be changed. Some columns needs to be added, or some column needs to be modified in later phase, right? So better we get this scripts at the before the deployment and then deploy those things. Yeah. So you need to collect all those SQL scripts and then verify it, and then uh, put in a text file or the SQL file, and then we need to deploy that.
So you are not moving the direct table. So you are just taking the
No.
script and again you are building the script there. Is it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to the request details. Then we have like how many columns we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have here, so we'll get 11 more. So that's again going to be our primary key column. I'll say ID, integer, I'll say index as the primary, go and auto incremental. And then we have, we have request ID. It's going to be varchar. I'll put say 25 characters long. And then we have employee ID. I'll say employee ID. It's going to be integer. And then we have created date, updated date. So we'll say created date. It's going to be date. Updated date. It's going to be date, and we also have closed date. Closed date. That's going to be date. And then what else we have? Approval status and all, right? Okay, so we'll say status. This is going to be varchar. Let's say let us long. I'll say created by. Let's say because you are using email address, right? So let it that approver. All right. What else? Request type. Going to be varchar. Next certificate as long. Severity. Varchar. Let's say 10 characters long. Priority assigned to. Assigned to. Request details and doc ID. So we'll say request details. Let's say put varchar, but I can put like 2000 characters. And then if there's any doc, then doc ID it's going to be number integer. Okay, so initially it all can be null. I'll just check that null checkbox. Okay, that's fine. Any issues here? We have added all those columns. Okay, if we see if we are missing any column, then we can have it. I'll just click on save. Please enter a valid length of priority. So we'll say 15 characters long. Right, save. Perfect. If I hit on IMS now, we have 2 tables ready. Now one more to go. That is called IMS comments. I'll just say IMS underscore comments. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. We have 4 here. Let's say add 2 more. And then say ID. That's going to number integer. Index as a primary. Auto incremental. And then we have employee ID. It's going to be number integer. We have request ID, which request belongs. It's going to number integer, and then we can have comments. we'll put varchar around 2000 characters. So all initially can be null, and then created by, it's going to be a varchar, it's 100 characters long, and then created date. That's all I guess we have, you know. Okay, I'll hit on save. Perfect. So we are now ready with all our table, comments, employee record, and request details. Okay. If you go to your application, refresh it, nothing is here because those tables are different separate entities which has been created inside your table, but we can't see anything here, right? So we'll see how to reflect that particular structure to our Appian and how to capture that one. So before we'll start that topic, any questions on this database table creation or any question as in general?
Can you show it again how to come in this particular page?
Sorry, what is that?
How to come to this particular page where we are creating tables, right?
Sure. So you see this 9 grid icon here before the user icon. Click on that and then click on the cloud database.
Okay.
Yeah, Ravi, for some reasons, I mean, you have pasted a couple of links, right? The community edition one and this one in the chat. But I mean, if you are joining for the joining newly in this particular browser, those links are gone. If you don't mind, can you please ping again, especially the second community edition one?
Yeah, sure, not an issue. I'll just do that. Done.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Okay. Yeah, guys, time to questions. Questions, please. Any doubt? No? Okay, I'll ask you questions then. We have created these tables, right? Request details, employee record, comments, isn't it? But what about the foreign key relationship? Have we shown any foreign key relationship? We just created, right? If you go to the comments table, you go to the structure, it doesn't say foreign key, right? So how do we do that? Okay, let's put a task then in that case, and then show me how do you create this employee ID as a foreign key. Do some research and come with that one. So next session, tomorrow is holiday, right, in India? So you guys want to join? I'm okay to join. I don't have an issue. If you have work, then
right?
let me know.
Yeah, we want to join.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Okay, so everybody is okay with that, right? 8 to 9, no issues with anyone.
What holiday?
Yeah.
What holiday tomorrow?
26th of January, Republic Day.
Oh, Republic Day. Okay. Okay. We have
so
another.
Everybody is okay with that, right? Yeah. Sorry.
US, the next long weekend is in May.
Okay, let me. One second. Sorry. If you guys have any questions on database or anything in Appian, let me ask me. Otherwise, I'll just stop the recording. And then if you have any further discussion, we can have it. Otherwise, why to make this video long, right? So, any questions on Appian?
Hey, I got one question. That's not what you currently done. The question is outside that scope. So I saw I got access to Appian within my company, right? So I saw when I looked at all the projects, right, there is a couple of projects which says the processes which says sandbox, the name of the person and sandbox. So I was wondering, like, is there any concept of sandbox within within Appian?
It's sandbox. It means that's not an actual application. That's your sandbox where you keep your practice objects. Like if you want to do some research and want to see how it works, you create an object and you keep it there. It's not an application that needs to be deployed.
So it's just a label, or is it like administrators providing some kind of a
no. You can create your own. You just go click on new application and put your name, Arjun Sandbox. So nobody will go and open. I mean, people can open that and see that what you're creating, but that's for your own purpose. If you are trying to do some practice, or if you were trying to, what happens sometimes you get a requirement like, I want to put some this kind of validation. You are not confident enough to do it directly on your application. So what they do, they create their own object. They made some change there and they see how it will look like and how it works, and then they do a practice there and then they replicate the same thing into your actual application. I mean, that's your
when we say like a sandbox, right? Normally sandboxes are created for a POC environments, right? So I was thinking like dedicated.
Sandbox is just like a dummy application where you keep your dummy objects.
Just a labeling, it's just a label.
Perfect, guys. Let me stop the recording then. And so the task for tomorrow will be, you guys need to, create the objects, whatever we have done till today. And plus you need to look for an option, how do we add a foreign key to a table. So these are the two tasks. Please do this. Every day will be assigned some tasks, so you guys need to do practice. It's not that tough that we have decided. It took some more time for the account creation and all, which is already done right now. So tomorrow onwards we should be doing like a few more topics and all. Okay, so the task, please assign whatever is assigned, please do that, and then we can connect tomorrow. Everybody is ready, so we can connect tomorrow and then we'll see how to proceed further. Okay.